Becky Lynch just went off in a big way with a lot of big mentions, so we'll see what's new there. We'll also get into some new fan theories for Roman Reigns and much more. Starting things off with everything related to Becky Lynch and what she's been up to. Heading into this return, there were lots of rumors that Becky Lynch was completely reimagining her character into something brand new, and that the man persona would be put to rest. Becky Lynch does not appear to be there quite yet. They're still referring to her as the man, but you can definitely tell that she at least appears to be in the middle of this character transition. Becky shared some words on Raw about not understanding why the fans were booing her. She said that all she did was take out the garbage, which was Bayley. Becky said that when people take out the garbage for you, you don't boo them, you thank them for that gesture. Valkyria eventually came out and did not back down from Becky Lynch at all. Valkyria matched the intensity of Becky's blows, and she called Becky Lynch out for recycling the same moves and act for an endless amount of years. She pointed out that she has defended the women's intercontinental title for more days than Becky Lynch even showed up to work this year. She thanked Becky Lynch for shattering the glass ceilings, but that Becky never had any intention of helping anyone else besides herself. Becky responded by saying that she does not like anybody and that she's the greatest to ever do it, so she has to beat everyone. They got into a mini brawl which ended with Valkyria standing over Becky and posing with the title. And like everyone always says, whoever stands tall on television the week before a premium live event match, that individual always ends up losing the premium live event match a majority of the time. So in this case, Valkyria stands tall on the last Raw before Backlash. That makes it seem like the women's intercontinental title is coming home with Becky Lynch. But overall, it was a great segment. Prior to the feud with Becky Lynch, Valkyria was basically never given a live microphone to speak on Raw. So the feud with Becky has already elevated the women's intercontinental title from that perspective. We're seeing big promo segments and brawls, which are all things the women's intercontinental title did not have prior to Becky's return. A lot of fans were complaining before WrestleMania 41 that the women's intercontinental title felt ignored and non-existent. Well, that is certainly no longer the case. The title feels very visible and valuable, which is what everyone was waiting for. So that is perfect. Although the Becky Lynch and Valkyria program is front and center at the moment, the Becky versus Bayley feud is also getting strongly prepped in the background of everything going on right now. Becky Lynch admitted to being behind the attack on Bayley, and Becky has been continuing to take verbal shots at Bayley ever since. So Becky has been technically working on two feuds at the same time. She's feuding with Valkyria in present day, but continues to also set up this story with Bayley at the same time, which we absolutely assume will be paid off by Bayley making her return to immediately go after Becky Lynch. And there's certainly a few great spots for this return to take place at. Backlash is surely a possibility. Maybe Bayley returns in the middle of the match to try and help Valkyria against Becky's cheating ways. Or maybe Bayley confronts Becky Lynch after Becky had already won the title and the match. Or even on the Raw after Backlash, Becky can start to go off on how she took out both Valkyria and Bayley, and maybe that's another good return spot for Bayley. So that appears to be the direction right now. Chances of Valkyria walking out of Backlash as WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion seem extremely low. It looks like WWE wants to have this big blockbuster feud of Becky versus Bayley take place in the mid-card scene for the Women's Intercontinental title, and that has the strongest chance of happening here. Becky Lynch also made waves this week for her appearance on the WWE Raw recap show, where she did not hold back any jokes or comments. Becky Lynch noted that the current situation probably got Bayley so confused that she's probably giving her best friend $100 a month just to text her. This is a reference to Mercedes Mone, formerly known as Sasha Banks, in WWE. Mercedes recently started up a $100 monthly fan texting service that has been receiving a lot of talk from the wrestling community. And Mercedes is one of Bayley's best friends after all, so Becky said this line as a joke about the texting service and to poke fun at how confused Bayley must be. Becky Lynch also responded to the Hulk Hogan comparisons she's been getting and the nickname of Becky Hogan. The entire Becky Hogan thing really picked up steam when Becky returned at WrestleMania 41 and instantly won championship gold. It was not the first time Becky Lynch came off the couch and won championship gold on her first night back, so some fans were really going in on that entire Hulk Hogan comparison and narrative for Becky Lynch. Well, Becky responded to the nickname, saying that it's unfair for people to compare her to the scummiest person on earth after everything she's done for them. Becky said she was not going to just sit there and take that level of disrespect from the fans. So this new version of Becky Lynch is certainly heating up and looking very interesting. She'll joke about you, she'll diss you, she'll address anything at all. So definitely a fiery new version of Becky Lynch, and this is obviously not the final form of the new character quite yet. She's still in the middle of this transition, so seeing the final version of this character should surely be a lot of fun to see. With Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman, and Bron Breakker's new group, and the possibility of them maybe even bringing in more new members, it's going to be very difficult for Roman Reigns or CM Punk to get their revenge on Paul Heyman. Roman Reigns and CM Punk's characters on television never really liked each other in recent memory. They came together for one night at last year's War Games event, but during the weeks leading up to WrestleMania 41, it definitely was highlighted how much Roman and Punk don't really trust each other or like each other. But thanks to what went down during the Night 1 WrestleMania main event, they both now have something major in common. And that's the fact that they were both betrayed and made to look like fools by Paul Heyman on the grandest stage of them all. So despite their bumpy feelings towards each other, they have a like-minded goal right now of wanting to make Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins pay. But look at the way Roman and Punk handled the situation on the Raw after WrestleMania. They each came out on their own, trying to seek their own separate revenge. And it ended with them both being taken out. If Roman and Punk worked together and came out together at the same time, their chances of getting to Seth and Heyman probably would have been a bit higher. And during the closing moments of that segment on the Raw after WrestleMania, you can see Roman and Punk looking at each other with some very soft nods to each other, which makes it seem like they know what they have to do. They have to come together if they want a shot at taking down Seth Rollins. So one theory that's floating around is for Roman Reigns and CM Punk to form a new little version of The Shield. Both Punk and Roman have original ties to The Shield. Roman was obviously a member of The Shield, and The Shield overall was a concept that Punk came up with behind the scenes, and even on screen, there was a period where the Shield members were taking direct orders from Punk's character. So Roman and Punk have the ties in place. All they really need is maybe at least one new member to join them for this new Shield-like function. And there are a few candidates already in play for that position. Those candidates being Jey Uso and Sami Zayn. These are two individuals that have been targeted by Seth's group in recent weeks. Seth tried recruiting Sami Zayn, but when it did not work, they beat him down, and Seth set his eyes on Jey's world title and was seconds away from cheating to steal that title away from Jey. So Jey and Sami are already in Seth's crosshairs. So could either of them link back up with Roman and Punk to try and get the numbers advantage on Seth's group? Rumor has it that WWE will have Seth and Bron versus Roman and Punk later this year, but everyone wants to know if there'll be more members joining the fight on both sides of the battle.
But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.